proud sponsors of the Cars Ireland YouTube channel. Cartel.ie, for car history data you can trust. Buying a used car? Get an exclusive coupon code now. See the comment section for more details.
Hello and welcome back to the Cars Ireland YouTube channel. My name is Anthony and today's review is brought to you by Cartel.ie, Ireland's #1 car history check. It's a lovely sunny day and we're...
Hello and welcome back to the Cars Ireland YouTube channel. I'm Sinead McCann and this week's review is brought to you by Cartel.ie.
what are you doing?
I'm trying to do a car review. What are you doing?
Trying to do a car review too.
But this is my channel. You were just minding it for me.
Was I?
Yeah. What is that you've got anyway?
Mazda MX-30.
Yeah, electric?
All electric.
So is mine.
Wow, that's very convenient.
Isn't it?
Should we do a twin test?
Yeah, this isn't contrived at all.
No!
So as I was saying there before I was so rudely interrupted, you may or may not be old enough to remember the original MG brand in Ireland, which was famous for its sporty little convertibles. Well, it's now back in a very different guise, selling only electric or plug-in hybrid vehicles. One of the most exciting being this, the ZS EV, because not only is it fully electric, it's also a fairly decent sized family SUV with a pretty decent range of up to 263 kilometres and is also pretty good value for money with a starting price of just €29,000 when you take into account government grants. So, beat that, Mr. Mazda.
As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, this is the Mazda MX-30 and it's Mazda's first attempt at a fully fledged EV. Now it's more of a coupe crossover with some funky design elements and a more considered holistic approach to the whole EV thing than some other people. And if you want to get yourself into an MX-30, prices start from a smidge under €31,000. Let's be having you, Mrs. MG. So how do you want to do this?
Well, I was thinking, did you ever play that game Top Trumps as a kid where you used to like call out your superpower and then the other person had to beat it?
Yeah, I did.
See where I'm going with this?
I do, yeah.
Can I go first then, since it's my channel?
Fine.
Well, I am going to call boot space because I think my car is going to do really well here.
Okay.
So if we're talking literage, what have you got there?
I've got 366.
366. Boom. 470.
470?
470, I know. That is good, not just for an electric. I mean, that's like bigger than a Nissan Qashqai.
So I believe, yeah.
Which is pretty good, and like it's a decent shape as well. There's not much to it. It's quite basic. You've got your nice kind of square shape. 2 cubby holes here for, I don't know, extra space, extra bits. Yes, exactly. Got a false floor.
Oh, that
this
would
is
do
really
like
handy. So you can put your charging cables in here in their little fancy bag. Actually looks designer.
You could be on a catwalk. You could be on a catwalk with your MG Gucci
but that
bag.
fits nice and neatly under here with your, your usual other bits, tire inflation kit and your granny charging cable lies nice and flat. I mean, the parcel shelf is a little bit on the flimsy side.
Oh my God, that is very flimsy.
So we've got this little...
That's made of crackers.
But that could be a little bit better. But other than that, a very decent size.
It's a boot just needs to be straightforward, and that's kind of what it is, isn't it?
I agree. Do you want to show me yours?
Yeah, I suppose. 366 litres.
Okay.
And I get a badge on mine.
You do get a badge.
That
is a nice, that's squidgy too.
That's proper squidgy,
It is.
It does feel a bit more quality. Like, this is thicker. This carpets, they're nicer.
Granted.
Yeah.
I reluctantly agree.
Unfortunately, I do not have a false floor. I just have a little, I don't know, storage space for your lunchbox maybe?
Yeah.
That's all you're getting in there, which is frustrating, especially when you have your cable and your other cable, and it's a bag that I don't think will get me on the catwalk. No.
Definitely not. Okay. I agree that the finish is slightly better, but I think with boot space it's all about practicality, so I think I'm going to take that one.
Yeah, all right. I'll give you that one.
But
Fine.
I think you should get to pick the next category.
I pick doors.
Doors?
Yeah, doors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Doors.
I know. It's an odd choice, but hear me out.
Do you even have back doors?
I do, and let me show you. we have our front door, obviously, and that opens nice and wide. And then the party piece. Oh,
Ooh.
just funky.
They are pretty cool. What do you call them again?
Now, traditionally, you would have called them suicide doors, but these are freestyle doors for obvious reasons.
Okay. And so like the BMW i3?
Yeah, or the Mazda RX-8.
More appropriate in this scenario.
Yes.
So how did you find that getting a car seat in and out there?
Do you know what? If they weren't there, it would have been very awkward. But because they are, it has made access quite easy. You have no B pillar, and you can move that seat forward just to get in a bit handier.
Yeah, I can see how that would work.
Yeah, they're good.
Now, can I give you a nightmare scenario though? Because as a parent, it's just popped into my head straight away.
No, you can't. No, please don't.
Someone accidentally closes the driver's door first.
Yeah.
Some little person then tries to close this door the wrong order and bang, your bodywork.
Yeah, I know. Well, at that point, you just make a choice of friends and family or funky Mazda.
Fair.
That's it, yeah.
Fair point.
You get rid of one, probably the family. But they're cool, aren't they?
They are cool.
They are cool.
I do like them. They're stupid, but I like them.
Yeah, that's good stuff in life, is stupid and cool, isn't it?
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
So, what do you want to do next?
I think looking in there, space maybe.
Yeah, all right, go on. Get in. This is simple.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
I know you've cheated there by putting the seat forward.
A little bit tight. But I have to say, once you sit into it, it's actually not that bad. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
See, told you.
I've got a little bit of knee room, a little bit of headroom. I would say just enough for two adults. Usually with an electric car, you get like a flat floor here, and you do have a bit of a hump here. So I'm not sure how that would be for your poor old middle seat passenger. Yeah,
Look, you've loads of room. What are you talking about?
No.
5 people could go in this car.
Oh, I don't know. I think that middle seat belt's a little bit optimistic.
You're fairly squished.
I don't know. 3 adults, no, definitely not. Kids, like a small child. Yeah, I'm not sure as an adult passenger would I be delighted to be sitting here.
You'd be fine, would you?
I don't know.
You'd be fine.
A little bit on the dark side as well. Is that just me? Small windows?
Let me close you in fully first.
Okay, go on for the full coffin effect. Okay, yeah, it's definitely cozy.
Is it dark?
It's a little bit dark. And what's this, by the way?
Which? Oh, that
what
no.
The heck
what is
that?
Oh god.
That's like an ejector button for your kids to throw you out the front windscreen.
No, it's not.
What on earth
it's
is
for
that?
It's for oh god.
It's for getting out, I take it. Oh my, are you really going to give your
that gives a
backseat
lot of
passengers
control to
that
your
much
passenger.
power?
Yeah,
I
you
hear now.
You can move it forward and everything. maybe now this is just a suggestion. If you have kids, just keep them on the passenger side.
I'm starting to think this might not be that kid friendly at all.
It is. It's totally kid friendly. You 5 adults in this, easy, squished in, happy out.
Yeah, they most certainly would
be comfortable. They'd be fine.
I do have the finish is very nice. I do have to say, I'm really digging this Scandi look.
Yeah, the Scandi looks good.
But let me go and show you what a real back seat should look like.
Yeah, all right, fine. A boring one. So your doors, they're kind of weird.
Yes, I'm afraid there's not much to see here except 2 normally opening doors with space in the back for adult humans.
Let me see.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me in. What? How? Oh, wow. Okay, I can see. Yeah, fair enough, it's good. This is better than mine, and like, I have knee room, I have headroom.
It is really, really spacious in there. Even width-wise, I find it really good. My enormous child seat fits in there without problem. And look, no hump in the middle of the floor.
No hump.
So,
We're
actually
without
pretty decent for your middle seat passenger too.
That's all right, I wouldn't be too fed up here.
I think it's really good, and even not just, for an electric, that is good for this segment. I mean, for the crossover segment, it's pretty standard, I think.
Yeah.
Generous.
It feels very like most crossovers.
It does.
And you have the panoramic sunroof.
Oh yeah, that's a spec thing. We'll
get back to that.
But anyway, I think we can safely say I won this round.
Yeah, okay. Do you want to show me the front of this?
Sure.
Right, so the front of the MG-ZV-EV. ZS?
MG-ZS-EV.
So easy. It's so easy to remember that.
Catchy.
It's a really great name, yeah. Just throw letters at it, see what happens. Do you know what? It's better than I thought it'd be, as veiled an insult as that is.
I think it's really good. I was really impressed, and I think the whole feel is really, really nice. Like, it's almost luxurious.
No.
Okay.
No.
Look, for an electric car, usually you get that kind of light plastic feel
You
to it.
do,
I don't
yeah.
really get that. Like, I think this is
No, it's pretty decent. Like,
decent. It is.
this feels decent. This is soft. That's soft,
It
yeah.
is soft.
Like, it's a bit creaky in bits, but like, you'd really be complaining to give out about it that much.
Storage space is really good too.
Yeah, and door bins. Steering wheel looks cool. I
The
do
steering
like
wheel's really nice.
yeah.
That's a highlight for me now. It's
It is
it's a
quite
nice chunky feel to
Yeah,
it.
the display is a bit weird here now.
Yeah, actually, I'll point it out. I'll ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Yeah, go on.
The display is in miles per hour, which is
It's odd.
not ideal, I mean, and can be slightly confusing. And also your speed warnings come up in miles per hour as well. So, you know, I'm doing 100 on the motorway and I'm getting a flashing thing saying that I'm going over 70. It's a bit,
Yeah, that's a bit.
I don't know if you can fix that, but it's a little bit annoying.
They're like even stuck on. It's not as if it's a software update.
Yeah, I've
or-
seen better instrument clusters.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's quite neat and look,
It is.
straightforward. It's got colour and
Again,
does
it
what
all
does.
comes down to value for money. Like for an interior, for you know, it's pretty good.
Pretty good. Like, you've lots of kit. How much does this cost?
So this one is the exclusive model, which is the fancy version.
Of course.
So your entry level model starts at 29,000 with grants, and it's called the Excite. Lots of kit on board. I mean, you get your 8-inch touchscreen display,
yeah.
satellite navigation, parking sensors, adaptive cruise, all as part of the standard model, and then it's an extra €3,000 to go to this exclusive model. For that, you're getting your panoramic glass roof, your roof rails. There was something else important there.
Leather?
Come to me. Full leather.
Full
That's
leather,
it.
yeah.
That's it.
The leather's not bad either. It's quite nice.
It's not bad. It's squishy.
They're quite sporty looking seats too.
Yeah, they
There's
are.
a-
And you've got your electric adjustment
Oh, I
on them as
do.
well there. I know. You're just probably going to be a bit more interested when we look
Oh
at
yeah,
it
it
now.
is. Yeah.
But this is
I've
good.
already won. Like, this is just a formality. But how's your infotainment?
Yeah, I bet that.
How's that?
Okay.
All right.
Look, it's not terrible. Again, it's one of these things. It's when I use that infotainment system, I feel like an iPhone user trying to use an Android. I don't think it's the
Okay,
most
yeah.
intuitive.
I
I'm
get
always
it.
looking for like, how do I get back? To be honest, I've been using CarPlay for the most part
Okay,
because
right.
that's just
That's
it's just
simple.
been easier that way. There is a noise that this makes that drives me insane. Power it up there and I'll show you.
Okay.
The only thing that drives me nuts is this. Yeah,
Boom.
that's it. That sound.
that's not a
It's
nice
very
noise.
Windows 98.
Yes.
And
Sega.
it makes that sound every time you press something.
Oh God, why? Why did it? Do you know what? I can see though the appeal of this little. There's like a hole in the dash for the lead.
Oh, I almost forgot. Yeah, the
Yeah.
cubby hole. That's really clever design.
Because so
So-
many times you can have the lead just floating around the place.
Exactly. So you plug it in underneath. It's nice and neat. You don't have to see that, and then you can thread your cable through that little hole in the rubber mat.
Do you know? It's not bad.
Not the worst.
Oh, it does make a weird noise. And it's not. Okay, it's a bit slow. Loading now. Yep, still loading. How are you? Right, up front in the MX-30, I think you'll agree this is way more of an occasion,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Okay. Fair. It's very nicely appointed, I have to say.
Like the finish is good, it's well put together.
It's-
That's not going to break.
No, there's a nice soft feel
No.
to the materials. Tell me a bit about this though. What on earth
Yeah,
is
now,
this?
this feeds your Eco Warrior side, this car, right?
Yeah.
So you have cork on the centre dash, and it's
Cork?
on the handles here, yeah, cork.
You've got to be kidding me.
No, because Mazda used to make cork, would you believe? That's how they started out.
Okay.
So this is sort of a recycled material and a tribute to old Mazda. And more eco stuff. The leather is vegan friendly,
Of course.
of course.
There's a bit of a hipster vibe to it, isn't there?
Total hipster. It's oozing hipster. Which,
Okay.
you know, we like, don't we? And this is recycled bottles, I think, as well.
Oh,
I think
very
it's
nice.
this. There is a USB down there.
I
And
see that.
we don't have the
Two.
top spec one now, but the top spec has a 3-pin socket.
Oh wow.
So we could have plugged your car into this car and charged. Imagine that.
What could have gone wrong?
It's like an EV alliance. It definitely wouldn't have exploded
If there's
at
any
all.
electricians watching, let us know how bad that might have been.
This is about €32,000, and this is the
Okay.
first edition.
Okay.
And the top spec one is about €36,000. I don't think you need to go anymore. Like, this has everything you really
So this
need.
is technically entry.
Kinda. It's like a special edition to launch the car.
Oh, okay.
So you can
awesome.
get one for 31, which is a bit cheaper, obviously. This is 32 and a bit.
Any standard features?
Well, we have radar guided cruise control. You've heated seats in the front.
Nice.
Yeah, they're not bad. Now, the infotainment can only be controlled by the dials and buttons down here in front of you.
okay.
Which is Mazda's sort of thing now.
It is the rotary dialer.
Yeah. They say it's safer than touching the screen and
Mm.
reaching over.
This position seems to have improved. I remember in older Mazdas you had the kind of stuck on thing, you could get a bit of glare. This looks nice and
No, I haven't had any of
shaded.
that. The only thing is, now I use Android Auto, not Apple CarPlay, because,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah,
and because that's set up for touchscreen,
yeah.
it is a bit awkward.
Oh, right,
Because
okay.
you're using rotary dials and all that jazz.
I've got you.
So not quite as entertaining.
And you've got nav as
Yeah.
well. I like the little traditional gear selector here. It still makes you feel like you're in a real car.
It could have done with a bit more design.
You think?
Just sort of slapped on that floating.
Well, I suppose when you put it in the rest of this very designed area.
Yeah, and the touchscreen for the climate control is quite nice.
That is nice.
And you get buttons as well.
Do you find it fiddly on the move?
No, because you have the buttons too,
Oh,
as
you
well as the screen,
do.
so you have a bit
Double
of choice.
whammy. Okay, Anthony, you
I
can
win
have this one.
one.
So the MG ZS EV is powered by a 44.5 kilowatt hour battery, giving it a combined WLTP range of 263 kilometers, which really, considering the practicality and the space and the starting price of just €29,000, is really not bad at all. Now I know Anthony is probably going to give some excuse about the much smaller range of his car being better for the environment and all that, but look, let's face it, the more kilometres on the clock, the better, in my opinion anyway. The range also seems to be quite accurate in that the kilometres that I'm travelling are coming off fairly consistently. There's no massive kind of over usage, and my average energy consumption for today is in around the 18 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometres mark, which would put the real world figure in and around 240 for today's driving. And to be fair, it has been quite a cold day and a cold week. I know the sunshine earlier was probably deceiving, but it has been a very cold week. Plus, a lot of those miles today were motorway miles as well, so I think that 260 would be very doable. As for what it's like to drive in general, I have to say it's a really pleasant car to drive. It's nice, and the steering is nice and light. It's very accurate, very responsive, very comfortable. I mean, everything feels very well judged. From the suspension is very, comfortable for an electric car. Sometimes they can be a little bit on the firm side, but not so in this case. So yeah, it's just a really, really nice, comfortable drive, especially on the motorway. Felt very at home on the motorway. Feels like it would be very easy to live with. It's not overly exciting. Then again, not a lot of EVs are. Power-wise, it has the equivalent of about 143 horsepower. So it's not quite as powerful as some of the other EVs out there. You don't quite get that, suck down a tube feeling of acceleration. But at the same time, yeah, I've very, very little to complain about here, I have to say. Really nice car to drive.
So driving the MX-30, well, powering it is a 145 PS electric motor, and there is a battery of 35.5 kilowatt hours. Now, if you're more of an EV aficionado, you will know that that is quite a small battery by today's standards. So the quoted range from Mazda is kind of 200 kilometers combined and about 260 in the city. Now, to be honest, I'm not sure you'd ever get 260 even in the city, but if you did keep it to city driving and town driving, I think the 200s will be doable. If you go on the motorway and are doing 120 kilometers an hour, that drops drastically to maybe 130, 140 kilometers. So not really a car for that style of driving. Now, there is a reason for this, and Mazda have done studies, and they're environmental studies, to kind of work out the long-term impact of larger batteries and larger range and what that means for the environmental footprint of the car. And what they found out is that most of us don't need that much range, and a smaller battery is just better for the environment. You're not mining out all the different materials, and if you come to replace it, it's not as environmentally expensive as it is to put in a 60, 70, 80 kilowatt hour battery. It's a more holistic approach to the future and EV driving and looking after the environment and the actual environmental footprint of these cars. So the average European commute is 48 kilometers a day. So in theory, there's 200 kilometers is perfectly fine. We could all live with that every day, provided we had access to charging. And I'm sure Sinead will mention her battery is much bigger than mine, and that's fine, I'm comfortable on my battery size. Anyway, moving on. Mazdas have traditionally been good fun to drive, and the MX-30 is no different. I'll put an asterisk on that. It's no different as in it is a better EV car to drive, but it's not as good as Mazda's other stuff. I'd say the only EV I've driven that has been a bit more fun and a bit more dynamically engaging is the Mini EV, and that was great fun. But this is close behind, it's not bad. But it's really fun around town, and it nips in and out of gaps really easy, and they're very intuitive around town, and they make so much sense around town. That's where they really thrive. And as with most EVs, you have regen braking, and we have that here on the Mazda, but in typical Mazda fashion, they've done it a bit differently, and there's two flappy paddles on the steering wheel, one with minus and one with plus. So how it works is if you press minus, you get more regen. So you press once, you get a bit more, you press twice, you get more again. If you press plus, you get less regen, and it's a bit nippier, and there's none of that bite from the brakes as you lift off the accelerator. You have to press the brakes yourself. I did think it would be a bit of a gimmick when I first used it, but actually it's pretty intuitive and I do enjoy it. I think this is a lifestyle choice, and if you come from a house with two cars and most of your driving is done around town, I think it's a great choice. It's just different and it's cool, and I like it a lot. I like this car quite a lot. So we have one more important thing to get to, and that's looks.
I guess so.
I'm pretty confident I've won. Just look, I've won. It's funky, it's different, it's got weird doors, it's got a sloping roof, and it gets people talking. It gets people talking. People ask me about this. Has anyone asked you about that?
No.
Do they even know what it is?
Look, I agree with you. I think you do have a very striking design there, and I do like it. Probably would be more to my taste as well. But on the other hand, this is still a very good looking car. I don't really know of any other EVs on the market that have that proper chunky SUV look, which people like. Now, granted, it's a little bit on the generic side. It actually looks very like the old Mazda CX-5.
It does. And speaking of the Mazda stuff, the red on that is quite nice, but the Mazda red on this, even better.
Oh yes, Mazda red is something special. I would actually really like to see that car in Mazda red.
It looks so good in red. I've seen it, and it's just lovely.
So I'll reluctantly hand you the points for yes. You've maybe got a traditionally better looking car there.
This wasn't a debate. I had already won the looks. This is just
fair.
Yeah, this is mine.
But it is a twin test. So who are you calling overall? Where would you want to go?
My 30 grand is going on the MX-30.
You're sticking with it, really?
Yeah, I'm sticking with it.
Even with those shortcomings?
Even with the shortcomings, even with that range stuff and not a lot of great access to the back, it's still going here. It's still going here. Where's yours going?
I'm sticking with mine. I'm going to be maybe a little bit, I don't want to say boring, but practical, because it's just such a good all-round package. This car, like I have to say, it reminds me of, you know, that friend who orders the phone from China that has, like, coincidentally, double the memory, like a much better camera, and is half the price of your iPhone, and you're like, that's a really good idea, but yet when the time comes to upgrade, you automatically upgrade your iPhone and your Samsung.
You're not buying that phone.
You just don't think of it.
You're not buying that phone.
But I think you should.
And that's what this is.
I think this is definitely, it is so worth a place on the shopping list if you're in the market for an electric car.
I don't know. I really don't know if I agree with that. People need to buy this. The world is too samey, and this is just different. And I love it.
So you're sticking with your guns. What about your poor kids in the back?
I don't care about my kids. No one cares about their kids, really. It's all about looks.
Okay.
You'll forgive this car its shortcomings thanks to its looks. That's life.
Well, on that note, we hope you enjoyed the video and found it in some way helpful. If you did, please do give us a like and subscribe.
To my channel.
To my channel.
My channel.
And also a very special thanks to Johnstown House for letting us film here. Much appreciated.
Yes. And I win. I win.
I win.
I win.
I win.
I win.
My channel.
I